basically you can delete trauma files in a way where you're not feeling PTSD about stuff that you go, well, if that happened to me in the past, surely it's going to happen to me again in the future. And now I'm scared.
Indeed. Yes. And this is all sort of happening right now as you are becoming conscious of these collective programs that have been contributing to your now moment experience of the past and the future. So we're getting pretty woo-woo here. But we want to really help you have an understanding of the power that you actually have in this now moment, individually and also as a collective, to raise that bandwidth in a way that maintains some congruence with your
So our reality doesn't completely shift. We don't even know where we're at.
So your reality has been shifting a lot, and
Welcome to Spread Your Third Eye podcast. I'm your host, Mia Wright, and we are here to take you beyond the veils into other dimensions with our resident guest, Georgia Jean.
woohoo!
Coming in with a circle of light.
Yeah, coming in hot.
A higher dimensional collective here to help shift humanity into the fifth dimension.
Yeah, create a better life for you, me, and everybody on the planet.
Oh, can't wait for that.
Yeah.
They teach us a lot how to alleviate the suffering of humanity.
Yes, and how we can actually all contribute to that process through our personal process as well.
It all starts with you, actually, because the entire world is truly a reflection of you, because you are a conscious being that is quite literally creating your reality at all times. Yep. Who knew? Who knew?
Holographic creator. Whoa. Why am I creating her? Why is she creating me? Why are we creating you? Why are you creating us? Just consciousness exploring itself in, like a weirdo.
A bored weirdo.
Just a bored weirdo. I'd be like, I'm going to split off to these two chicks and like a whole bunch of people watching them. And then
I'm going to incarnate on this place called Earth and really just put myself in a lot of horrible situations and almost die and suffer for years and years until you find some truth.
Man,
and then you're like, oh, wait, reality is created like this?
Yeah.
And shadow work and heart centering. And then you're like, oh, okay. Well, thanks for the guidebook in the beginning.
That's the game, man. Like, we're like,
what a game, conscious weirdo.
Conscious weirdo. Just this mad, mean nerd up there going like, I'm going to create these people.
It's going to be fun for this.
It's going to be great.
You having fun?
Yeah.
Glad you're having a good time.
Crazy gamer. Send in the exploding llamas. Hey, their career's taking off. Send in the rattlesnakes with the radioactive teeth. Boom. Oh, you just met the man of your dreams? Well, have I got a surprise for you?
That's hilarious.
Send in the exploding diamante crystals that will shatter your heart.
Fun. Wow.
Fun Earth game. No, listen, I have fun. I have fun in this reality.
Yeah.
Skydiving is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I make it harder than it probably needs to be by overthinking and worrying about it too much. But we have to remind people that the fun is also already available.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Especially when you're living in the moment. It's fun.
Living in the moment, opening up, allowing yourself to grow and expand. And, you know, I think, you know, people really fear change. Yeah. And so change is hard. And actually, I did watch also an interesting something or other with the neuroscientists, because I'm always interested because the brain is that big part, like part of the meat holographic projector. Yeah. It's like, brr. So even they were talking about, you know, when people break up or, you know, change house or change job or something big, you know, all of that meat that's been wired to create that relationship and everything has to kind of disintegrate from that wiring and make something do. So there is a hardness to it. Just from a biological perspective, there is a big challenge to change.
A breaking down of quite little quite literal biology in your brain, which makes you feel like you could die or in
Yeah,
danger.
like there's all kinds of
It'll
stuff
trick
going on.
your
Because it's like, can we just
nervous
rebuild
system.
that?
Yeah.
Sure, he's a bastard, but can we just rebuild it anyway? Because I know how to navigate that one. Woohoo!
Keeping you safe.
Keeping you safe by keeping you very unsafe. No, but that's one of our big things is get comfortable with the uncomfortable feelings, because they are the gateway to change a lot of the times, you know.
Oh, I just remembered. First of all, don't forget to subscribe. Share this with your spiritual bestie. But second, we have an exciting announcement.
Oh, yes. We haven't mentioned
November,
this,
baby.
Yes.
Tell us more.
The channel panel. I'm going to be part of the channel panel in West Virginia.
Woo.
Near the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Cool.
And with Bashar.
Rob Gauthier,
Bashar, Rob Gauthier, Wendy Kennedy, a bunch of other
Ruben
fabulous
Langdon, who came up with the interviews with Extra-Dimensionals, where I met Georgia.
Yes, and there's some other channels from that show as well on it. So it's going to be super powerful, super awesome. Like a big gateway is going to open. Oh yeah,
just get ready for that.
Think of this as your hors d'oeuvres, your appetizers to consciousness, and get ready for the main meal.
Yeah,
and come join us. And Mia's going to be out
I'll
there.
Be there.
Yes. And I'm doing an event on, it's kind of like bending the matrix. Using these bigger fundamental frameworks of reality, the grids of creation, planetary templates, blah, 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 dissolving those.
Blah, blah, blah. Let me just tell you why I'm doing this work with Georgia is because it is like the biggest stuff most people are not talking about, shifting the matrix. How can you quite literally, you as a conscious creator in your universe, in your world, in your reality, shift the matrix? This is the type of stuff that she is teaching. It is wild. Rewriting the matrix. Planetary templates, which is the collective, human collective templates. Her stuff is...
That's shaping your reality.
Huge.
So when we talk about like coming in like the shift crew, helping the planet heal, but those planetary templates are shaping your reality, and often in the hardest way. So if you know how to dissolve a non-planetary template, then you really can rocket into new parallel realities. Parallel reality hopping, how to get from one room of existence into another by dissolving those doorways that get you through.
Huge, powerful work.
So it's going to be awesome. And I think, and when we have a group gather, because the collective intention of a lot of people gathering obviously is super, super potent as well, and in person. So it's going to be awesome. So link somewhere around here.
Oh, yeah. We'll put a link below. And
join us at the Chanel Panel.
Yay. And we're really excited because these are some of my favorite episodes where we're going to let the circle choose when they come in right now with Georgia. Because we have an array of topics, but when we let them choose, I'm always so surprised and so excited.
It's cool. It's like dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice, baby.
Roll the dice. Let's roll the cosmic dice and see what the circle have got.
All right. Shall we bring them on in?
I'm going to bring them on in. I can feel them coming in. They're like, shut up, biatches. We're trying to get through with some of the good stuff. So here we go. They wouldn't say that, by the way. That's me.
They have class.
They do. They do.
We don't.
No.
The more you get to know us, especially me, I do not have class. Georgia used to be a raunchy comedian. Now I know why we're friends.
Now we know we're friends. Yeah, behind the scenes.
Okay.
No. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Here we go. Yes, indeed, dear ones, we are here, and we are most delighted to make connection with you here on another magnificent day in your earth plane. We adore you too, dear ones. We love to come through your class as well. Aww. So, all right. So you're letting us make a choice for the transmission today. Yes. And we're just going to invite everybody, and this is a little quantum leap magic, to just come into your hearts, even though you may be watching this in linear time space, the future. And just invite your hearts to reveal what is most important for you to understand right now. All right, dear one. So we'd like to talk about a concept of global gateways. And this has been touched upon in some other episodes that have been recorded, which is about the ceiling on what the collective agrees upon can be the vibrational range of the human collective experience. All right. And so it's a bandwidth of creation. And at the quote unquote bottom of the bandwidth, you have the densest experiences that the human collective can have. And at the top of the bandwidth, you have quote unquote the highest vibrational frequency experiences that humans can have. But this bandwidth is really set by the players of the game, which is you as a collective. How low can we go? How high can we fly, if you will? And you are going through a shift in this bandwidth. And we've discussed before that you can't radically shift into another bandwidth because so many structures that maintain your frameworks of reality, including those reflections in the external life, would start to crumble. Industries would crumble, governments would crumble, mainframe experiences that you believe are significant factors in what governs your reality would crumble way too quickly. There'd be a lot of shock to the system if it did happen in one fell swoop. You really wouldn't know yourself. So a lot of you are experiencing this shift without sort of consciously noticing every part of it, if that makes sense. You're not going, oh, today I can see pink and tomorrow I can see this other color, which I never saw before. But you are actually having changes in your individual and collective reality. Part of the thing about when we sort of come in and assist this process of deleting files is that once files are deleted, you don't really even have experiences held as memories anymore either. Not very strong memories, at least, because part of the 3D construct is this linear time-space reality where you psychologically relate to yourself in the past and also concepts of yourself in the future. But all of that relativity is still being generated by your now moment vibrational state. So how you look at the past, how you look at the future is still determined by your current vibrational field. Does that make sense, dear ones?
Yeah.
So when we work with you to sort of delete files, those files that created experiences that your mind says you had in the past, when those files are deleted, your mind's not generating that as your past anymore.
So basically, you can delete trauma files in a way where you're not feeling PTSD about stuff that you go, well, if that happened to me in the past, surely it's going to happen to me again in the future, and now I'm scared.
Indeed, yes. And this is all sort of happening right now as you are becoming conscious of these collective programs that have been contributing to your now moment experience of the past and the future. So we're getting pretty woo-woo here. But we want to really help you have an understanding of the power that you actually have in this now moment, individually and also as a collective, to raise that bandwidth in a way that maintains some congruence with your.
So our reality doesn't completely shift, and we don't even know where we're at.
So your reality has been shifting a lot, and but you're still relating to your life from this now moment. Does that make sense?
So I wouldn't really know that my reality completely shifted because you put in memories that all of a sudden I should be there and this is why. Like, say my kids are going to a new school, that reality is shifting for us, but I'm going through the process right now of going into a new school. Are you saying, no, your kids went into a new school just because I parallel jumped your reality and
then your mind made up a
then your
story of
mind
how
made
that
up
happened.
memories about how that happened? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, essentially, we are saying that.
Okay, well, I think you can do a lot better.
Well, it's not us programming you, dear one. It's your creative conscience.
Oh, this is a couple clicks upstairs of some programs this whole time? You better give me some badass memories and some sweet features right now.
Well, we're giving you the power to understand this right now, dear ones. So, but when we talk about global gateways, these are points where there can be quite a mass, like deletion of files, basically, when the global collective hits certain tipping points.
Okay.
Where it's sort of okay to delete some major framework that you've all been kind of collectively generating a reality through.
Okay.
And when these global gateways hit, because there is quite a lot of radical change happening, the mind struggles to reconcile the shift, which is often why there's a lot of confusion.
Okay, yeah.
Why there's a lot of confusion and what feels like disruption and all of these sorts of things. So that kind of state of confusion, disruption, that many dear ones are trying to reconcile right now. We're trying to give you an explanation that still might be a bit of a brain bender for you.
Well, I have a lot of friends that are in a state right now of suspense as well as me, and we're all like, we can't even make a concrete decision right now. We feel like in suspense. Is that part of the wave of like things changing so much around us that we're not sure?
Yes. Well, there can certainly be a kind of cushioning effect.
Okay.
Where again, going back to now a more traditional sense of linearity, it is that because there are collapsing frameworks going on, your collective frameworks are collapsing, your personal frameworks are collapsing, ancestral frameworks are collapsing, all kinds of things are kind of breaking down right now. There's even an experience where if you had a fantasy or a dream as a child, for example, and it didn't totally manifest in some way that you remember or had, it sort of sat there, and you had put energy into that creation, even though it never fully manifested. Sometimes when this collapse is going on, just in the same way as if your dog dies, you might grieve a whole bunch of energy that was frozen. Sometimes there's energy that's sort of in these positive pockets as well that never fully manifested. And when these collapse cycles happen, there can be a lot that gets released right now, including what we would say negative fantasies and positive fantasies, where the energy is just sort of released, but it's not necessarily supposed to become.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I see.
But you might feel this sort of like, oh my gosh, I could be this. Oh my gosh, I could do that. Oh my gosh, I could do that. Oh no, what if that happens? What if that happens? Oh my God, this is happening. That is happening.
Yeah.
And there's this sort of...
It's exactly what's going on with a lot of me and my friends.
Indeed.
Like, whoa,
yes,
where?
a kind of tumbling of energy just collapsing from those old forms. And so there'll be periods of time where you may even be kind of energetically cushioned from your broader self, not to go whole hog in this direction or that direction, because if you commit to a timeline, to a creative manifestation storyline that isn't in alignment with your ultimate heart blueprint, because remember, some of those those timelines could be from childhood fantasies that were coming from, say, not being around your mother or your father or something like that, and the child goes into fantasies and is making up stories. Some of those sort of frozen things start to collapse, and you could feel really excited about it like a child, but it's actually not a desire that is created from the heart.
Yeah.
And so if you run really far down in that direction, but the heart is building strength, saying, come this way, now you have to sort of manifest another change in story.
Okay.
Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily want to have to move house again,
Yeah.
change schools again, using your
Yeah.
early analogy. So there can be a period of when this confusion is going on to just allow yourself to be in that stillness. But this is, as we share, this is the time to harvest energy from all of that and try not to chase bunny tails across the field,
Okay.
but instead have an awareness. If it's really in alignment, it will come into one of those two states we talk about, which is knowingness and manifestation. So knowingness. So again, when we talk about this fantasy idea emerging, it's usually coming from a mind aspect. All right. So if it didn't manifest, there was some other resistance from mind that prevented it. There was whatever aspect that could be. So if you have confusion, doubt, indecision, that's usually an indicator of mind. Even if you feel some excitement, but you don't know, that's usually still an indicator of mind. Even if you're in fear, trepidation, confusion, indecision, that's still all indicators that aspects of that mind matrix are kind of tumbling. And instead of trying to grab a hold of them, we want you to allow the tumble to happen and use the integration, the love and acceptance, which is basically saying, I love and accept the part of me that is this tumbling bit of childhood dreams. Mm-hmm. I love and accept the part of me that is this tumbling piece of childhood fears. I love and accept the part of me that is this teenage angst. Because it's your energy formed into these different fantasy projections that may have been locked away or frozen in time. And you also have this as a collective as well. You have sort of group fantasies, if you will, positive and negative. A lot of the dystopian fears of world collapse, and even some of the super spiritual fantasies about where things are going can be part of a collective mind fantasy field, if you will, that still is generated from the mind and isn't necessarily going to bring you the fulfillment that the heart blueprint does. So if you're in confusion, doubt, indecision, this is the time to just grab all that energy and give it to your heart. Don't force movement, because when there is enough energy, the manifestation starts to come forward. Manifestation or knowingness. You get those clear signals. All right, it's time to move in this direction. You're not pulling tarot cards anymore or chatting to chat GPT or whatever it is that you're using to help you get yourself regulated in the field of uncertainty. And that's all fine. We're not smacking on the wrist. We're just saying it's going to be noticeable because you'll be in knowingness and or manifestation. The things that you need will start to appear.
As long as we're in non-resistance, love and accept all the confusion coming up. Stay in our heart
because you're
center,
gathering that energy. Think of this as that
your
gathering.
Heart will bring what you need to have a ping and knowingness of.
Yes.
Okay, you'll know.
What is the ping of knowingness? The ping of knowingness is that energy has built up so much that you just know it.
Yeah.
We talk about this a lot, and we a lot of the times we bang the drum with certain messages, but some of these things are so clarifying for you. If you don't have manifestation or knowingness, it's probably there's still mind, and where there's mind, there's energy to be harvested.
Okay.
When the energy is harvested, given to the heart, and the heart is building the creation, if you will, strengthening those timelines, however you want to talk about it, that makes sense to you. Because the energy is so strong, it's literally communicating to you like it's manifest, and that gives you the clear state of knowingness.
Yes.
We always say this thing, do you know where your car is?
Yes.
You're not pulling tarot cards or checking in with ChatGPT.
Car in the driveway.
Yes, when you know your car's there. It's very easy to have knowingness about things that have already been manifest for you because you have a build-up of neural pathways. You have a build-up of this sort of sense of memory, as we were talking about as well. But what you're learning to develop is knowingness about that which has not yet been physically manifest. You want to have it in the same clarity. When you're asking about how does my pathway open up? How does humanity's pathway? Where is everybody going? In many ways, it would be remiss of us to say, this is what it's going to look like. This is how it's going to be exactly. Because even in this now moment, this transmission is affected by the global collective as it's delivered and as it's received. And you're the ones generating the future. You're the ones generating your shift. We're here to assist you to understand the functionality of that. You're the creative beings. We're just helping you with what you need to understand for you to create this reality.
Wow.
You see, we're not here as your schoolmasters or your instructors in this sense. We're just giving you insights and tech support. We are sort of like doled up tech support, especially now at this time.
Because we are programs.
Because you are programs, yes. But you are conscious programs. You are becoming conscious that you are programs writing yourself. And so as you become more conscious of this process, when you say, as we have delivered in another transmission, I invite the energy of 1 degree off source to delete, and I give permission to delete all files and programs generating this experience. That's you calling tech support and saying, all right, I'm ready to move this now.
Yeah.
But we kind of, there's a time in that overall plan, as you would experience it, that these things are done in a way that's going to help you keep more or less congruent with your reality. People may want this big shift experience, but it was agreed collectively that it would not be a singularity of such intensity.
The great flash.
The great flash. If you were to perceive what's going on with a million little things happening, it will look like a great flash. When you look back into the past, even as we say, the past will still feel more familiar, but you'd have to really, as in the same way that you look back into your history books and go, all right, oh wow, well the reality in cave times is very different from now.
Yeah.
It's just that it doesn't serve you to go into shock through this process.
Okay.
So when the global gateways open and there's a big shift, you already have quite a lot of tumult around those events because of the changing foundations, and then the need to create storylines that mirror the changing foundations.
Your brain has to create the storylines to make it make sense of it all.
To make it make sense of it all, because you sort of would go crazy a little bit more if those parts of you that need linearity to keep your reality constructed get too disruptive. Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because you still use linearity to generate your reality.
Yeah.
So you have to work with both sides of these aspects of consciousness and make it all happen together. So you have been through, so right now we will share, because we know some of you like some more specific details about things like activating gateways. Coming back to what everybody remembers as being the 2012 shift, December 21st, 2012, there was a major shift didn't exactly happen on that day, but it was building up and it was activated around that time, that you would allow this expansion into the multidimensional playing field. So that's really when significant initiation happen to activate the 5D grid. All right, so you're largely operating on the 3D framework, and around that time, it's like the 5D grid was switched on.
Actually, I went deep into my spiritual path. Actually, it's right when I got sober and I really started getting spiritual during that time.
Indeed,
I was always, but like that's when I studied it.
That's when, yes, and a lot of people had significant events around that time, and we wouldn't say first wave, but a bigger first wave was activated, and the sequencing of the rewriting of we've talked about the shift from the 3D to the 5D chakra system, the neurological rewirings, at the openings of the connection point to the pineal gland to the brain, because remember that connection or lack of is what keeps you in and out of certain bandwidths. Yeah. All right. So
your pineal gland connection and how many
of those connection points are like open and transmitting to your brain these frequencies. Yeah. So individually, you're governed by that, how much woo-woo stuff you're having, including this experience. Yeah. So somebody who is really still probably with only, although it's opening up more and more with, so initially most of the collective had only 1 to 2 of those connection points open. As you're moving up the scale, 3, 4, 5, 6, now you're getting more multidimensional information in, and it's shifting your reality. But somebody who is still at 1, 2, or at 1 isn't going to be watching this. It's not going to be in the bandwidth of their allowed creative experience. So, but even the amount that can open is, and which ones as well are open, falls in a bandwidth of collective agreement. So the 2012 shift lifted the ceiling, and then you all started adapting again to new influxes of frequencies and the activation of the 5D grid. Since then, in your linear time space, the number of major global gateway activations we would say there has been about 67 major, not as big as that, but major global gateway activations, which is why, and they're happening faster and faster now. All right. So you have an opening of a global gateway. The bandwidth is lifted a little bit. Everybody rewrites, adapts, readjusts. Okay. Now the bandwidth can lift a little bit more, and it's a little bit more than the last time. Everyone adjusts and adapts, etc., etc. And at each point, we begin to introduce, okay, here's the idea you really need to focus on now. Here's the idea you really need to focus on now. As this one has been lifted, here's the idea you really need to be focusing on now, because they're all impacting different ways that you're in relativity to your reality, and how you're in relativity with one another. So again, when we say the 5D grid was switched on, it wasn't switched on for everybody. It was the beginning activation. And then it has to be more deeply fed by the energy that is harvested out of the old system. So as that gets fed, then you get another activation, you get another activation, you get another activation. Now, you don't know what everybody else is experiencing on the planet, meaning you are primarily experiencing your experience, and your perception of the planet. And you are energetically connected to some of those bigger waves. So you experience it often subconsciously or emotionally on a feeling level. But there's no way that one individual with this current avatar can process the entire memory, thoughts, feelings, emotions, and experiences of everybody on the planet, which is why when things are happening in waves like this, you don't really understand where the wave is happening on the planet or why one area of the planet is activating and another area isn't, for example. So because you'll have locational activation. So that group and that collective can kind of go through an activation together and rewrite that experience together, and it doesn't get too fragmented, although this happens from time to time. So those sort of more site-oriented activations, there's been thousands of those. What does this mean for you?
Yeah, and I'm just like, it's a long process, right? It seems to be a long process from 2012. We're at 2025. It's a
Indeed.
slower process, I guess, than what we expected. But yeah, what does this mean for us?
What does it mean for us? So this is why we give you some ideas to kind of chill with the process a little bit and work with what is helpful rather than sort of getting lost in that mind's confusion all the time, because the mind wants to control, it wants to know. But remember, you're trying to create something that exists outside of the boundaries of your mind. So you really don't want your mind to get in the way. And so allowing yourself to be in tune with yourself. Obviously, the heart centering, we talk about this all the time. It is primary, it is key, it is the most important thing that is going to keep you in sync with yourself, in sync with your environment, and in sync with the collective. It's the eye of the storm as all those things are bubbling up everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, as we were saying, there's also a lot of collective fears and fantasies playing out. And this is what you see a lot in your big news stories and this sort of thing. As much as you want to really get involved with trying to control the global picture, understand that the bigger structures that you have always perceived to be influential on your life, such and have indeed in your illusion given power to governments, royalty, celebrities, but organizations, whatever, the justice system, the medical system, the big systems that govern this kind of shipping lines, all trade, all of these major systems are also are playing out this kind of expulsion of old energy.
Okay.
It's playing out some of this fantasy, dystopian nightmare expulsion of energy. And we understand that a lot of our dear ones want to grab a hold of a movement of something that's happening to help stabilize their reality. But again, do not grasp at these big global things as well. Do not grasp at the notion of this hero that's going to save everything, or this movement that's going to save everything, because there is a lot of this dispersion going. So things are coming and going very quickly, and the storyline you might see is the stock market is all over the place, or COVID happens and everything is shut down, and all of these things. These are the bigger storylines that your mind are working overtime to make sense of. And we understand that a lot of this comes from a good place, because it comes from a lot of times what we'd also say the good ego, the part of your mind that wants to do good stuff, but it's still being governed by the mind that is generating the limitation at the same time. So even in these cases, we say it's still got to be ultimately safer for you, dear ones, to surrender into the heart while all of this movement is going, so you don't go through such jarring, oh my gosh, I'm going to follow this thing, and now I'm going to follow this thing, and now that's collapsed, and my loss of faith and belief in that collapsed, and some of the things you were joking about before, oh, here is my soulmate, now that's collapsed, or here's the job I always wanted, now that's collapsed. We understand that you need to sustain life, and that many of you seek abundance, which is your true innate nature as creators. We understand that many of you are trying to get grounded in this movement that's going on. But, we remind you that your incarnation is fully supported by the earth. So you cannot, quote unquote, die of starvation.
Okay.
And if you are in your grounding with the earth, because the earth is supporting your existence here.
Okay.
Everything else is the storyline that your mind manufactures about how that's happening retroactively. But if the more powerfully you are earth grounded, you are supported, and you will generate the storylines that reflect that. The more you open up and receive the energy of this chaos, not for you to fix and process in your mind system, but to build energy. Each time there's one of these global gateways and there's this sort of upswing of chaotic energy, grab that energy and keep bringing it into your heart. Stop trying to make sense of it all.
Okay.
Ground more deeply, get into your heart, and wait for the knowingness. Wait for the genuine impulses of momentum, because that's your heart saying this timeline is getting built.
Oh, okay, cool.
As opposed to you grabbing on collapsing timelines.
Yeah.
And staying in your mind about these timelines that are collapsing, because so many of your systems that have the way your mind has generated reality, that you are much more controlled by external forces rather than your own agencies as manifestors. So you have these enormous constructs that to your mind are stabilizing your reality, when in fact what stabilizes your reality is you being in your body and connected to the earth, and then allowing these codes of creation to come through you and generate from that. You will find your personal pathways so much easier to discover, and you cannot fail. When you're grasping for these collapsing timelines, you go through this kind of roller coaster of success and failure, which is just the mind polarizing energy. Consciousness just is. It is a stable force when you allow it to run, not through that mind maze, which is designed to disrupt that stable force.
Okay.
But to just allow it to move through you. So this is why we keep saying to you, relax. And you're saying, well, we can't relax because everything's falling to pieces. We're saying, yes, but all of that is the energy you need to rebuild. So relax, gather, get it,
is
go.
Really good advice right now. Thank you. We needed that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And more, there are more of these gateways to come. But
we love it. We're here for it.
But yes, you are here for it. You are the shift crew, dear ones.
I just want to tell you, since there's more gateways to come, guys, they have the Monday Night Awakenings, and they attune you every Monday.
Yes.
It's. I don't miss a Monday. They will attune you to all these gateways.
Yes.
Like custom to your body.
Custom to your body and your being. Yes.
I'll put the link below. That's really important right now.
And this is why through Georgia we have created this regular container, crucible for you to come and get the updates. This is where we're able to verbally tell you what's going on with the updates. Most people are going through this without any idea of what is going on, and that creates so much more egoic disruption, because they are chasing bunny tails and hounds across the grounds of uncertainty. And often our message reverberates the same way, but with these evolutionary shifts as they're coming in. But the heart is the gateway to your stability. It really is. And if you're thinking and analyzing and trying to figure out what is going on, you are right there, not in your heart.
Okay.
You would be better off thinking less about the spiritual process in many ways, thinking less about what is going on, and staying engaged very actively in the life that is around you right now. Mindfully washing dishes.
Okay.
Even though that may not be your favorite thing, but you get what we're saying.
Be in your moment.
Be in your moment, be in your physical senses, and because that's where you're receiving. And if you do feel strong waves of emotions, that does happen when these collective gateways are happening, when when the ceiling is lifted and a lot of stuff that doesn't pretty much belong in the new bandwidth begins to surface again. And you've got to quickly kind of gather all that energy. It's almost like being in a supermarket and everything falls in the aisle, and there's sort of this panic to make order of it. But just grab all that energy and keep pulling it.
And
love and accept it. Pull into your heart and ground more. Keep reminding yourself that you're safe. The earth is supporting your incarnation. No matter what the other humans are doing.
It's not the governments and the jobs and the corporations.
It's not that, and it's not the soulmate, and it's not this, and it's not that. It's the earth is supporting your incarnation, and you are a channel for the codes of creation.
Okay.
And what your mind is saying is the story isn't the story.
Wow.
All right? It's not what your mind is trying to guess at and fill in the blanks with because it's just used to having something going on that it understands. It's not the story. So keep pulling back to the basics and trust and relax and then let more of it happen. Now, sometimes someone's going to be like, come on, you might manifest someone who's outside of yourself creating motivation.
I love that. I want alignment. I don't want to be like cold calling.
Yes.
Right? There's totally two different things here.
Yes.
One's the grind, 3D, and one's alignment. That's fifth dimension.
That's fifth dimensional. Yes. So you've got to get out of your mind. Now, you're still going to take action. You're still going to take action. This is where you get confused. But action should come from that inspiration, from that motivation. The knowingness is saying, pick up the phone and call today.
Yeah.
Because the alignment is happening. And if you ignore those calls, and if little remnants of fear and this sort of stuff start to interfere, well, again, we would say use the love and acceptance. You're not going to miss or lose opportunities, but you are slowing your process down if you're not responding when momentum is happening for you.
We'll just make it clear as day for us.
This is us making it clear as day. But sometimes you will manifest someone who's like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Yes. And then if you've got a little bit of resistance, it might be time to do more love and acceptance on that so you can go in that train. Or so confusion, doubt, indecision is always an indicator that there is a mind, and your best bet is to do that love and acceptance, go into the heart, surrender, let the energy get incorporated back into your system, give it to the heart, and let the heart project that reality, and then run with that timeline and stop trying to recreate your past. Stop trying to sort of even to this point, stop analyzing the past with your mind, because what you're really doing when you're analyzing the past with your mind is you're sitting in the now moment, avoiding the new reality that can come through by focusing even positive memories of the past, but also negative. But really, when you're in that psychological analysis, rumination, why is this, why is that? We understand that it's been helpful as part of a psychological process to sort of mature in your own wisdom from a little me perspective. But all of that rumination and obsessing is the thing that's keeping you out of the now moment where everything that you want is actually going to arrive. And the one final note that we wanted to say is you don't have to wait for the global collective to raise their vibration, because it's your experience that you're going to create from your heart is already going to be balanced. So whilst you can hold some concern for the global collective in this sort of humanitarian way, the best thing you can do when you see things that are troubling in the global collective, bring it all into your heart and process it with that infinite
part of me
that's still creating that.
Okay.
And move past it. Go into the energy more than trying to fix and remedy it. All right, dear ones? Because the faster you energize the heart, the faster these global gateways can kind of open.
Okay.
And it's not to get you there, but it's to get you through this shift period where there's more confusion more rapidly, and let your life settle into something that feels more congruent and enjoyable continuously.
Yes, love that.
Indeed, dear
Thank
ones.
you.
Yes. We adore you all so very much. Until we're meeting in this way or some other way, we love you very much. And for now, we'll say goodbye, dear ones. Goodbye.
Love. See,
running
the Russian, not the
roll the dice.
Roll the dice.
It is like Russian roulette. Russian cosmic roulette.
Yeah. When we have the circle, that was exactly what we needed to hear right now. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Exactly what I needed to hear.
Yeah. No, it's powerful stuff.
About that. Powerful.
God. Man. Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, she wouldn't have thought of that. We let the circle of light come in, and then all of a sudden she has the best top. Because when we were talking about the topic,
we had the confusion, doubt, indecision.
Yeah,
it didn't feel loaded.
It didn't feel loaded.
Yeah,
and we know when we're kind of confused on a topic, it's time to let the circle
do the talking. Yeah, because it is. It's like that sense of when the alignment's strong, I'll start getting a sense of it. And that's because I know that I maybe have downloaded enough to be able to deliver something. Or when there's a guest coming, there's a sort of a stronger alignment around that guest's energy. But when we're just here transmitting, freeball in those transmissions. But let us again just give a shout out for the Monday Night Awakenings. I would be insane if I didn't have the guidance of Monday nights. Like I would not.
I don't miss a Monday. You guys, I don't miss a Monday. So the other day somebody said something like, "Oh yeah, well why don't you come on Monday?" And I was like, I kind of embarrassed sometimes.
You're getting
married? You're getting married on a Monday. I'm sorry.
I really love you, but.
I really love you, but
I only say we're going to do it 4 times a month because sometimes there's 5 Mondays.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh well, maybe I can, because if I ever want to go to Europe, they're at like 3:00 in the morning. Yeah. If I could go to Europe, but man, I love doing them. It's my favorite hour of the week. You guys. It's so good.
And they'll delete files for you. They'll go and have you. I mean, they literally do energetic attunements and healings.
How often have they answered something that you might be thinking about and you get an insight in the call?
Oh, all the time.
All the time. Like everybody's like, I'm pretty sure that call is for me. I'll get the messages. I don't know, and that's because they're reading the energy of whoever's showing up. It isn't like a one size fits all pre-recorded thing. It's like
live.
Every Monday's a journey.
People don't see each other. It's literally just a phone call. I put it on speaker. You lay down, and it's just all these people just phone call in and listen to the transmission, and then it gets recorded if you miss.
And then
if you can't do Mondays, and then you can re-listen to it.
But it's also that power of the group collective coming together and opening that gateway, which is really special as well. The one-on-one sessions we do are awesome and mind-blowing and next level too. But I really believe that Monday group is just a group of special people doing special work to help move the planet. Yeah.
I'll put the link below, guys. And don't forget to share this with your spiritual bestie. Share, like, subscribe, show us the love, support us.
Don't forget to tip or buy me a coffee over here. She put so much time and effort and money into this to help to bring this to you. Yeah, and we really want to support Mia's work doing this as well. So.
And then also, maybe we'll be seeing you in the channel panel.
West
Come
Virginia.
see Bashar, Rob Gothier, Wendy Kennedy.
Pop the links of that below.
Ruben Langdon. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited.
Super fun.
Like she said, talk about a huge portal coming in, baby.
Ooh, coming in hot.
Total live attunements. Yeah. It's like no joke. I went to the one in Sedona.
Woo! We
Dang.
just wrote some physical
I had to go lay
templates
down
on
at some
that.
point in
Man,
my car
I had
because it
to
was
lie
just
down.
like, it was a lot. You got sick. You were
I was
detoxing.
just like processing a lot of stuff for everybody.
Processing. She's all blowing her nose. I'm like,
Yeah.
Georgia!
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, honey. She has to go up
Fevers.
and speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm sure this one will be better. I'll be
oh, yeah.
in better state.
Sedona was intense.
Sedona was super intense. Yeah. So we're getting ready for you too. We're getting ready for
Yeah.
you.
And if you have any questions that you want us to ask the circle, you can comment below or
hit up and DM her on Instagram and spread your third eye at Instagram. Yeah.
Come talk to me on Instagram. Or if you want to come in the studio yourself and interview the Circle of Light, hang out with me in Georgia, there's a link to click below or go on the website, spreadyourthirdeye.com.
Yep.
And if you want to find more of Georgia and find her circle, any of her workshops, all the good stuff, circleevolution.com. We love you guys.
Yeah,
we
love you
so
all.
much. Bye.
Bye.